Hello, I'm Dr. Bobby Von Hayes, and welcome to the world of golf therapy. You know, for years I've been healing sick golfers from all over the world who have come here to the Bobby Von Hayes Institute of Golf Therapy in Big Sur, California. But now, thanks to my book, Golf Therapy, You Are Your Swing, you don't have to come to the Institute to be cured. Now you can be helped in the privacy and comfort of your own home. You know, a lot of people ask me, and I'm sensing you're asking the same question. Hey, Bobby, what exactly is golf therapy? Well, it's simple, really. I believe, basically, in order to become a better golfer, you have to become a better person. And when I say a better golfer, I mean someone who is totally integrated, mentally healthy, a fully realized human being. Now, as the world's only golf therapist, I can help you to become that person, because I have the God-given talent to be able to diagnose a golfer's psyche by just looking at his swing. Now, in my book, Golf Therapy, You Are Your Swing, I present 9 case studies from my extensive success file, and we examine 9 of the most common problems we find in golf, from slicing and hooking to shanking and yipping, and we explore the psychological roots of that problem, and then we offer concrete solutions to them. Believe me, my dear golfer, you will find not only your problem, but your cure in my book. Are you still skeptical? I hear that. But take a look at your own life before you judge golf therapy. How's your marriage? Is it a bit shaky? Do you find your job a little frustrating? How's your sex life? Totally unsatisfying? Now take a look at your golf game. A bit shaky? A little frustrating? Totally unsatisfying? Do you see the connection? Golf and life are the same thing. People, golfers, give me your pain, and I'm going to give you back your game. If you're still unconvinced, then take a look at these unrehearsed testimonials from former golf patients of mine who have been totally cured by golf therapy.
Hi, my name is Frankie Oslowski, and I'm not here in any kind of professional capacity. Now, I don't belong to any kind of fancy club or anything, but I play golf too. My problem is not getting from a tee to a green. My problem is chipping. I'm no good at it. You know, I get over a ball, ba-boom, next county. I went up to see Bobby Von Hayes. He said chipping is a sensitive part of the game. Golf is not all power and strength. It's got like a feeling side. He said, I got to get in touch with those feelings. I got to get in touch with the feminine side of me, with what Carl Jung calls the anima. He said, I got to let the woman deep down inside of me do my chipping for me. I said, hey, Bobby, you're saying there's a woman living inside of me? Because if you are, I'll kill you. He said, Frankie, relax. Next thing I know, he's got me hypnotized. He's got me feeling feelings. He's got me in touch with the feminine side of me, a side I never knew, a side I like to call Louisa. And she had me looking around at a golf course like I'd never seen one before. I mean, the green wasn't just green, it was verdant, you know? I don't use words like verdant, that's Louisa talking. Anyway, Bobby puts a club in my hands and he drops a couple of balls. I chip 6 inches from the cup. Chip again, in the cup. 8, 10 of these, either in or around the cup. Man, I was weeping. Man, I've never wept. I don't know. Bobby comes up to me, puts his arm around me. He says, Frankie, never get out of touch with Louisa again, and you'll never have chipping problems. You know what? I don't. Now, I'll tell you, I take a lot of ribbing about this, you know, from the guys at work and even around the house, you know. But I'll tell you something. I got a complete golf game. I got a complete life. And I'm doing a little baking. Not bad, huh? Thanks, Bobby.
Hi. I'm Susan Donning, and if anyone had told me even a few months ago that I'd be sitting here telling you how much I love golf, I would have not believed it. Perhaps I'd better begin at the beginning. When I was 16 years old, I loved golf. I discovered it for the first time, and I just loved it right away. I played morning, noon, and night. I couldn't get enough. I was the girl at the club that everyone called when they needed a fourth, and I'd play with anyone, and believe me, anyone played with me. In fact, it was at the club on a round of golf that I met my husband, and at first we played great. Gee, we played like nobody I'd ever played with before. But then, I don't know, maybe it was just marriage. Things started to change, and after a few years, I guess we were just playing on birthdays and anniversaries and on those days when you kind of had to play. And it was then that I guess I knew I needed help. So I came to see Dr. Bobby Von Hayes here at the Golf Institute. And he explained it to me. He told me that in a kind of funny way my game had become frigid. And I understood that. It made sense to me. Talking about it, playing with him lots and lots and lots. Everything has changed now. I love golf again. I love it so much. I just want to play all the time again. It's like I'm a young girl. And it's all because of Dr. Von Hayes. In fact, just sitting here talking about it, it just makes me wish I had a club in my hand. Because when I have a club in my hand, I get that tingly feeling. I wish I were on a course right now. Can't I be on a course right now? Oh, I love golf. Thank you, Dr. Von Hayes. Oh!
Hi, I'm Larry MacGyver. I know it's hard to tell by looking at me, but a year ago, I was in some bad shape. I didn't have a job, I couldn't get a date, I drove a Yugo, and my golf game was absolutely nowhere. I mean, my big drives were 150 yards. Now, I don't know where you play golf, but that doesn't cut it at my country club, pal. As a matter of fact, one day, it got so bad that my hip area totally locked up, completely. I couldn't get a full swing through. I had to have a team of paramedics come and get me off the golf course. Well, it was that day that I knew I needed professional help. Someone had given me the name of Dr. Bobby Von Hayes. I called the number. I went up to his institute in Big Sur. He helped me. He said, Larry, let me see your swing. I addressed the ball. He said, stop right there. I see the problem. You're sexually repressed. I said, doctor, I haven't even swung through all the way. He said, Larry, you forget. I am the doctor. You are your swing. I can tell what is wrong. Now, the sexual repression thing had never occurred to me at all. He said I needed a Rolfing session, something about my chakras, some mumbo jumbo. I didn't know what he was talking about, but I'd put myself in his hands. He sent me down to the Rolfing area, where I was greeted by 2 tantric assistants. Now, these women, and by the way, he only has women at his camp up there. I don't know what's going on, but these women are, well, anyway, they Rolfed me. In the middle of the Rolfing session, I'll be darned, I had a flashback to when I was 15 years old. I was at a country club dance. I asked little Amy Philstein to come outside with me. We went into a sand trap, and we began to make the most memorable love. However, I locked. I was paralyzed. I couldn't do it. I could not do it. And as a matter of fact, I had never had sex since. It occurred to me then, for 20 years, I thought I had been living a fully sexual life. No sex at all. It was all gone. Well, after that, it got a little better. They kept Rolfing me. They moved my chakras. I went in for 2 more sessions. I remember on the 2nd session, it all loosened up. It came home to Daddy. It started moving. The hips were cooking. Here we came. The snake was awake and the goose was loose. Well, here came the swing. Bam! My swing was back. I was hitting them straight on the course and in life, too. I got a high-paying job. I'm driving a Corvette. I have to beat the babes off with a putter. Watch this. Hey, babe, you want to take a ride with a real golfer?
In that penis mobile?
Yeah, this fat phallus.
What's your handicap?
Watch this. 3.
You remember at a country club nearby?
Riviera.
Fabulous.
Told you. So if you're all locked up or you have any other golfing problem, go see Doc Bob. Golf therapy worked for me, and it can work for you too. 4!
I thought you said you had a 3 handicap.
I love her.
God bless you. I'm Father Brian Mulroney, and I'm the Jesuit priest here at Our Lady of the Bleeding Thorn. I'm a golfer. I golf about once a week, every Sunday after church. I was a 15 handicap. I was good. I never practiced. I never needed to. Well, I tell you what, I was good enough to fall victim to the sin of pride every once in a while. And then about 6 months ago, suddenly out of a clear blue sky, my golfing game just went all to hell. It was literally as if the devil had entered my golf. I was experiencing the full range of the 7 deadly sins, or duck hooking, slicing, topping, skying, shanking, even, I really blush to admit this, but hitting fat. I asked the other priest about it. They said, look, everybody loses faith on the green from time to time. It's nothing to concern yourself about, but I was concerned. I went to my bishop. He performed the standard golfing exorcism. That didn't work. Finally, in my desperation, I went to see the Holy Father in Rome. It turns out, you know, that he was quite a hooker himself as a young man. He says to me, go and see Dr. Bobby Von Hayes at the Golfing Institute in Big Sur, California. That's where I go in times of spiritual golfing crisis. Well, what was I going to say? No? So I went there, and Dr. Von Hayes, he just looked at my golf swing, asked a few gentle, probing questions. We walked, we talked, we played, and I really don't know how. We were talking about golf, and then we were talking about faith, and then we were talking about God, and then we were talking about my relationship with God. And that's where the truth hit home. I had taken my relationship with God for granted, the very same way I had taken my golfing game for granted. Now, you know, God requires more than just faith. He requires salvation through works. You really have to work at it the same way you have to work at your golf game. You know, the more and more I mused on these things, and my thoughts turned towards God, I don't know, all my golfing problems just seemed to disappear from my mind. And when Dr. Von Hayes handed me the club back and invited me to take a swing, well, guess what? I was completely back on my game. I've never had a problem with it again. Now I play 2 or 3 times a week, and my handicap is down to a 8. You know, they say the age of miracles is past. But I have been to the Golfing Institute of Dr. Bobby Von Hayes in Big Sur, California, and I'm not so certain. Lamb of God, that takest away the sins of the world, have mercy upon you. God bless. Hit straight.
Hi, I'm George, and this is my wife, Martha.
Martha.
Yeah, we are really one happy couple, aren't we, dear? Mm-hmm. And we owe it all to Dr. Bobby Von Hayes. You see, 3 months ago, we weren't happy at all. In fact, our marriage wasn't working, the family wasn't working, I was drinking a lot, and there was a lot of anger, and we'd take it out on each other on the golf course, right?
Well, he tried to drown me, so I guess...
Well, you know, I didn't actually. I mean, that's exaggerating. But the point is, we had
headache.
Okay, all right. I'll take care of the kids, and we'll go to McDonald's. All right? Just calm down. And we'd fight a lot, and we fought on the golf course one time, and we had a little problem.
I'm going blind
No,
in this eye.
just relax. Will you just let me get through this? And the club put us on probation, and they said we couldn't come back and play any more golf until we sought professional help. So we went to see Dr. Bobby Von Hayes. We just, come on, let me finish this thing. I owe it to Dr. Bobby, and I told him I'd do it. Now just get off it. And Dr. Bobby said, what you need to do to play together well with your mate is to play as if you're playing for the first time.
I feel like my teeth are burning.
So that's what we tried to do. We tried to play well together in the front 9. Now, for the first 9, it was a little rough, and we didn't do it well. But by the back 9, I was feeling great, really great. I'd help my wife find a ball.
Cyst is rupturing.
I don't care about your cyst. I want to finish the tape. Just let me finish, okay? Just shut up. Now, we felt great. By the back 9, we were really doing well together. She'd help me find a ball. I'd give her a putt that I would have never given her before. And all the anger just went away. I mean, it was just, and we owe it all to Dr. Bobby Von Hayes. Our marriage is working now, right, dear?
Oh, yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah, it's just like my skin is crawling.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah, and the kids are. Woody, come here. Let's see that. See how well the family's working. Let's all say thank you, Dr. Bobby. Say thank you to Dr. Bobby Von Hayes, okay? Will you? God damn it! Say thank you, Dr. Bobby. Say it.
Ears are
Say
ringing.
it. Get out of here. Say it.
Yeah, I have an ulcerated
I
bowel
don't give a
because you
shit
did
about
that.
your ulcerated bowel.
Whack.
Turn it off. Just turn this thing off. Yeah, just turn it off.
Hi, I'm Kay Peterson, and I used to be the long ball hitter at my club. I could drive a ball 230, 240 easy. And then all of a sudden, for no apparent reason, I lost all power in my swing. I just felt weak. So I went to see Dr. Bobby Von Hayes at the Golf Institute in Big Sur. First thing he had me do was take a couple practice swings, and then he asked me how long my swing had been weak. And I said, about 2 years. And he said, well, what was happening? I said, well, it was right before the big tournament at the club. And he said, no. What was happening personally in my life at that time. And I thought back for a moment, then I remembered it was right about the time I broke up with my boyfriend, Tommy Python, the lead guitar player for the rock band Steel Bitch. You see, we'd met at this bar, and he was late as usual, and when he came in, he said he met a couple of these record producers out in the parking lot, and he needed to go back out and talk to them about business, and I said, sure. So I was sitting in the bar for about an hour and a half, and he still wasn't back, so I went out to the parking lot to see what was going on, and there he was, standing in the middle of the parking lot with these two groupies, like making out with them. So I figured that our relationship was over, and I went home and packed my bags and moved out of my apartment. Well, after I told Dr. Von Hayes this, Dr. Von Hayes turned to me, and I'll never forget it. He said to me, grab your sandwich, we're going to the anger pit. Well, on our way to the anger pit, the sand pit, he explained to me that the reason I'd lost all power in my swing was because I had all this repressed anger against Tommy, that I'd never been able to vent my anger and tell him exactly what I thought about him, and that had made me weak, i.e. my swing weak. So when we got to the sand pit, he had this picture of Tommy way at the back end of the sand pit, and he had a bunch of balls, and I took my sand wedge, and he said, just start whacking those balls at that picture. Well, I did. I started whacking at him, getting stronger, feeling stronger, and about when I felt the strongest I had in a long time, Dr. Von Hayes said, now go back to that parking lot. See Tommy, and now tell him exactly what you wanted to say to him when you saw him that first time. And I kept whacking, threw down the club, looked up at him, and I said, Tommy, you son of a bitch, how dare you treat me like that? I think you are the biggest piece of scum I've ever met in my life, and how dare you treat me like that? I want you out of my life and out of my apartment. And all of a sudden I felt so strong and so powerful again. And Dr. Von Hayes said to me, how do you feel? And I told him I felt powerful. And he said, do you feel like going back to the driving range and hitting some balls? And I said, yeah, I think I do. We went back to the driving range, and I picked up my driver, and I hit 5 balls straight, 300 yards. And I have never, ever lost the power in my swing. And I have never, ever lost my self-respect, and I have never, ever let a man push me around like that again. Bobby, thank you so very much.
Well, dear golfers, now you've heard the testimonials and you're asking yourselves, what do I do now, Dr. Von Hayes? You read my book, and if you do, I guarantee you, not only will you become a better golfer, you'll become a better person, a better human being. Hey, what more do you want? This is Dr. Bobby Von Hayes saying, God bless you, and remember, you are your swing. See you on the range.
Mm-hmm.